While the world watches the skies for conflict, a far more dangerous game is unfolding in the ocean's depths. The simmering tensions between the United States and Russia have shifted to a new silent battleground. This is a conflict you cannot see, one where the world's most powerful weapons are on the move. The stakes are higher than ever: nuclear deterrence, global stability, and the risk of catastrophic mistakes. The United States has made a bold move, sending nuclear-armed submarines into the strategic backyards of its primary rival. These are not just patrols, they are messages, silent warnings beneath the waves. Each movement is a statement, each position, a warning. The world above may be distracted, but beneath the surface, a tense and dangerous dance is underway. Why now? Because diplomatic channels are eroding and dialogue is failing. When words break down, nations turn to demonstrations of power. The ocean is the perfect theater, vast, opaque, and intimidating. Moving a submarine into a sensitive area is a chilling form of communication. It says, "We are here, we are watching, we are capable of anything." For decades, these nuclear assets were shrouded in secrecy. Their power was in their invisibility. Now, the United States is subtly revealing their presence, changing the rules of the game. It's a public display of a traditionally secret power, forcing a response. Russia, proud of its military heritage and sensitive to threats, cannot ignore this silent challenge. The undersea showdown marks a significant escalation. The doctrine of invisible deterrence is being challenged. The world's security is being redefined deep beneath the waves. At the center of this standoff is the Ohio-class submarine, a submerged fortress of destructive power. These are the largest submarines ever built for the U.S. Navy, designed to provide the most survivable leg of America's nuclear triad. Their stealth is their shield, their payload, their sword. Each carries up to 20 Trident II D5 ballistic missiles, each missile with multiple nuclear warheads. One submarine holds more destructive force than all of World War II. The movement of an Ohio-class submarine is one of the most significant military acts the U.S. can undertake. For one to be moved near Russian waters, with its presence hinted at, is a fundamental shift in strategy. It transforms deterrence from a background threat to an immediate, tangible warning. These submarines are America's trump card, meant to prevent disaster by promising an unacceptable outcome for any aggressor. By bringing them into contested zones, Washington is leveraging its ultimate weapon for coercive diplomacy. The message, "Do not miscalculate our resolve," it's a high-risk, high-reward strategy that forces Moscow's hand. Every action has a trigger, and this escalation began with a chilling statement from a former Russian president. He invoked "dead hand," the rumored Soviet doomsday system, designed to launch Russia's nuclear arsenal automatically if its leadership was destroyed. The mere mention of dead hand is a profound escalation, signaling a willingness to contemplate the unthinkable. It suggests Russia might cede control of its nuclear weapons to automation in a crisis. Washington heard this loud and clear. In nuclear strategy, words are weapons. The threat of an uncontrollable response system challenges the logic of deterrence. The U.S. responded not with words but with action, deploying Ohio-class submarines as a controlled, human-driven counter. Where Russia threatened chaos, the U.S. presented deliberate, overwhelming power. The submarine deployment was a physical answer to the dead hand threat. This escalation pushed the standoff into a new, more dangerous phase. Russia's reaction has been a mix of public outrage and secret military moves. The Kremlin condemned the U.S. action as reckless provocation, painting Russia as the responsible power. But behind the scenes, Russian Naval Command is on high alert. Their Yasen and Borai-class submarines are tasked with finding the American Ohio-class subs, a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. Advanced sonar, patrol aircraft, and hunter-killer subs are all in play. Russia is also likely to respond in other domains: cyber operations, provocative bomber flights, and snap military exercises with allies. These actions test defenses and signal that Russia has multiple ways to retaliate. Strategic posturing extends globally, with Russian naval assets moving to sensitive areas for the U.S. The real response is in these calculated, shadowy maneuvers. The public statements are for show. The true contest is unfolding in the deep and across the globe. There's a dangerous difference between secret operations and public signaling. For decades, nuclear submarine patrols were secret, creating stable deterrence. Now, by signaling submarine locations, the U.S. has turned deterrence into coercion. This shift introduces volatile human emotions into military strategy. Russia cannot afford to back down publicly. Its credibility is at stake. The greatest danger is miscalculation. Signals can be misread, and deterrence mistaken for aggression. A maneuver meant as a warning could be seen as a prelude to attack. In this high-tension environment, a single error could spiral out of control. A technical malfunction, a misreading, or a human mistake could trigger a crisis. The public nature of the standoff means any incident would become a global emergency. Leaders would have little time to de-escalate. The risk of catastrophic miscalculation is higher than it's been in decades. The world is watching for Russia's countermove, and the signs are emerging. Russia's northern fleet is surging into the Arctic. Akula-class hunter-killer subs are heading for the Atlantic. This is a coordinated search and response operation. Russian maritime patrol flights over the North Atlantic and Barents Sea are increasing, packed with sensors to find U.S. subs. This activity is both a genuine search and a signal to the U.S. and its allies. Cyber probing against U.S. and NATO networks is on the rise, a digital warning. Russian diplomats condemn American nuclear blackmail at the UN state media, broadcasts dramatic footage of Russian strategic forces. It's a concerted effort to project strength and defiance. The whispers from the deep are now amplified by a roar of public and digital messaging. We now stand on a precarious edge. This undersea showdown has pushed the world into a state of heightened uncertainty. The old doctrines of deterrence are being tested and perhaps rewritten. The immediate danger is escalation. An accident or miscalculation could trigger disaster. Rapid communication means leaders would have only minutes to respond. The public signaling, aggressive rhetoric, and high-stakes maneuvers point to a more volatile world. The responsibility to avoid catastrophe rests on today's leaders. The world holds its breath, hoping caution prevails beneath the waves.